What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another Ty's Talks, a Q&A series. We're in episode 29, and this one had some interesting questions, including when did brick investing become a thing? What are my thoughts on the new Kenobi show? How do I feel about Lego increasing its prices 25%? And if I'll ever sell any of my Lego collection, along with a bunch of other really good questions. And again, if you have questions for next Ty's Talks, just leave them in the comments and we'll get to them in episode 30. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And our first question comes to us from Karma Brick Creations. And he says, if Lego made a Super Smash Bros. Set and it only could have 10 figures, which figures would you want in the set? So I'm just gonna be really basic here. I'm gonna go with Link, Zelda, Ganon, Mario, Luigi, Metroid, Bowser, Peach, Yoshi, and Fox. Those would be my 10 choices. There's many others that I'd be happy to see, but those would probably be the 10 that I'd choose. Colin says, personally, it is difficult to determine what year investing in sets became prevalent. When do you think it was? So what year I think it became like a thing? Probably 2015. That's when that article came out that Lego is a better investment than gold. I'm not sure if that's true. I will say that Lego is a good investment, at least a lot of the sets are. I know I started buying and selling Lego 2011, 2010, so I started a little bit earlier, but I know there was other Lego enthusiasts that started around the same time. But I'd probably say that it became more of a thing 2015 and onwards when people started to realize that Lego definitely does appreciate over time, or at least a lot of the sets do. Vigard asks, question, do you think it could be a good idea for Lego to split Star Wars into two separate themes, one for UCS and one for play sets? Okay, so you brought up some good points as I, continue to read down there. You like Mos Eisley Cantina. I love that set. Amazing set. As far as if I think that they really need to separate the two, I think they're kind of doing that. That's part of the reason why they have Master Builders and then UCS. So Master Builders really like the Endor Ewok Village, Mos Eisley Cantina, Betrayal at Cloud City. Those would all be in my books large scale play sets, which is why they're called Master Builders, or like the Assault on Hoth. So I think Lego actually realized what you were saying. They're like, hey, we need to separate the two, have UCS for big scale ships, and have Master Builder sets for, Mos Eisley Cantina, sets like that. I think it's a good thing to do, and it's something that I think Lego's kind of already doing. Reed says, what's your favorite video game on all platforms? PC, console, and mobile? Also, what were some of your other hobbies growing up other than Lego, obviously? And congrats on 5K, been a long time coming. Well, thanks, Reed. And as far as my favorite games, I'd have to say Age of Empires on the PC. For console, I'd probably go with Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, along with the original Battlefront 2. And for my favorite mobile game, it's probably going to be Clash Royale. Really like that game. It's kind of like a simple RTS, or at least simple in comparison to Age of Empires. As far as other hobbies I had growing up, I liked surfing, some other water sports. I also am a big fan of chess. I loved playing chess when I was a kid, especially growing up. Lego, as you guys probably already know from watching this channel. And when I was really young, I was into drawing, but that kind of faded out. Anyways, good question. Those are probably the answers I'm gonna go with. Vigard says, another question. What do you think of Kenobi? So Kenobi's kind of a mixed bag. I know a lot of fans love it. A lot of fans hate it. Myself though, I really, really liked the last episode. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Kenobi, skip ahead. But the final duel with Vader and Obi Wan, I really liked it. The choreography was amazing. I love the line where Vader said, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I killed Anakin Skywalker, kind of distinguishing, Vader and Anakin. The first couple episodes, gonna be honest, I was kind of worried. I was thinking they were gonna go the route of Luke Skywalker, where he's a depressed old hermit and he dies of Force overdose. That's basically what I saw with Luke Skywalker. I was really worried they were gonna do that. But what they showed was Obi-Wan was just a bit rusty. He had to get back in the swing of things. And when he did, he was amazing. But that makes sense to me. He was also depressed about Anakin. He felt he failed. So overall, I really liked it, especially the last episode or the last two episodes. The first four were decent, but the last episode was just on another level, in my opinion. Lego 2033 Agenda says, hello, Ty. what do you think about the recent LEGO leaks about them raising prices up to 25% on some sets starting August, September this year because of cost increases? Okay, so as a LEGO fan, I'm not a fan of them increasing prices. LEGO, in my opinion, is already expensive enough, but if you guys have been following the news, inflation is a thing and it's running wild right now. The government's trying to bring it under control. So I get that LEGO's having to increase their prices a bit. When I say a bit, up to 10%, because apparently 8.6% is what it's running, or how much higher it is this year than suppose last year at this same time. So if they raise the sets about 10%, I don't love it, but I get it. If they raise it more than that, let's say a $100 set becomes $125, I'm completely against that. That is overdoing it, and LEGO really needs to bring it back. So basically, I don't love it, but hopefully LEGO's careful with what they do. If it's $60 and it becomes $66, maybe even $70, not too bad. But if it gets any more steep than that, I think LEGO's just being a little bit too greedy with it. Kupaniki, and hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, says, ask Ty. You may have been asked this before, but why Ty? You never wear ties in your videos. Twin Ion Engines, the LEGO guy? Anyway, good luck with everything. So first off, thanks, man. And as far as why my name's Ty, well, my name actually is Ty, but it's spelt different. The correct spelling of my name is Tighe. It's Irish, it's my great-grandmother's maiden name, and yeah, that it literally is my name. But to avoid people not knowing how to pronounce it and all that good stuff, I just decided to cut out the G and the H and just leave Tie, and that way you guys would have an easier time pronouncing it, reading it, and I wouldn't have to deal with that confusion. Brandon, the LEGO guy, asks, and yeah, great name, by the way. He says, will you ever sell some of your collection? So I guess it would be a matter of how much money someone would give me. As much as I love my LEGO collection, if someone offered me $1 million, I'd take it. But under normal circumstances, probably not. I have sold sets though I wasn't too attached to. Like for instance, I found out the Ninjago City Docks. That set was going for about 1,000 Canadian or about 800 US, and I bought it for 300 US, maybe less. I think I even got a sale on it. So I saw that on eBay and I ended up parting with it. I do like that set, don't get me wrong, but I didn't like it enough to keep it for that amount of money. So I guess it's a matter of how much I'm attached to the set, along with how much money someone would give me for it. I don't want to part with my collection. I love my LEGO collection, but yeah, that's probably the best way I could answer it. Just again, it depends how much money someone would give me for what it is, along with, do I really like the set, or could I possibly, do without it? Captain Cody says, hi Ty, it has been a while. Not sure if you even remember me, to be honest, LOL. Anyways, I know you are a very positive person, so how do you deal with negative people, whether it's on YouTube or real life, as the LEGO community can be quite toxic a lot of times? What are some ways that you deal with that? So yeah, Cody, I do remember you. And as far as how I deal with that, okay, well, if starting YouTube, or if we're just gonna answer this with YouTube, when I started off, obviously I was doing a lot of things that I could do better. And I think that's the truth with many YouTubers. So if you get criticism, take it with a grain of salt, but if they have a point, see if you can improve on it. However, there are other people that are just being toxic. And if you're thinking that they're just being overly critical, maybe ask a close friend or a family member, say, hey, what do you think about this? Am I doing this wrong? If so, should I fix it? Get your opinion, or get the opinion from someone who's going to be honest with you and who cares about you. That's my advice for YouTube anyways. And if they are just being toxic, just ignore them, because, chances are they're not having a good day. They're just being a troll, and, they're not worth your time. As far as how you deal with it in normal life, that's kind of how I deal with it as well. If someone's just not a very nice person, I don't want to confront them, but I just avoid them to the best of my ability. I'm not going to run away from them, but I won't make a point of trying to maybe hang out with that person or go up to them and try and be buddy-buddy, right? So that would be my advice. Just avoid people if they're toxic. And yeah, if they are being critical, but they do have a point, try and see if you can maybe improve on it, at least if it's with YouTube. And our last question comes to us from Kylo Sam, and he says, ask Ty, which LEGO Jurassic World sets you wanted to see? So I have not seen the movie yet, unfortunately. I do plan on doing it though. But as far as sets that I want to see, well, they've actually made both of them. I wanted them to make the big Jurassic Park gate, along with the T-Rex rampage, where the T-Rex is attacking the explorers, he's trying to eat the kids, and he breaks through, that electric fence. I really wanted them to make that set as well, and they did. So as far as Jurassic Park sets or Jurassic World sets, I'm pretty happy with what they have. I think a Jurassic Park 3 set that had the Spinosaurus along with the T-Rex fighting would be a really cool set for them to make. Maybe that will be the next one that they bring into production, but overall I've been pretty happy with the Jurassic Park or World theme. And yeah, I hope that it continues and they bring out more sets. But that pretty well does this Q&A, guys. You guys came up with a lot of interesting stuff in this one. And again, if you have questions for next Ties Talks, just leave them in the comments and we'll get to them in episode 30. But that pretty well does the video. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Ties Talks. We do one of these basically every single month. And yeah, hopefully they're helping you guys out. You guys come up with a lot of good stuff. But that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.